The first stage in inserting a building onto our site is to take the building that we're going to essentially set out on site. We've been given an architect's drawing on it, and on this drawing there's a lot of extra material that we don't actually really need. So there's section lines, some dimensions, some text. So the first stage in working for setting out is we're going to take this drawing and we're going to tidy it up. What I mean by that is we're going to remove all the material that we really don't need. So section lines, text, dimensions. What we want is the basic drawing itself. So we'll go and tidy that up just by erasing all the parts that we don't select similar. We can erase those. We can select similar. We can erase those. We can tidy up. We just go through and either manually select it, or we can select similar. You can erase the text and some extra lines. We can zoom back out. Oh, there's still some more material left too. And hopefully then we should be left with, oh, there's still an extra section detail. So that should then, if we just zoom back out, that should leave us a pretty basic diagram that we can utilize on site. One further thing we'll do before we start to insert this, the way our site is orientated, I'm going to rotate this building 180 degrees, because along the bottom here is actually the front of the building. Here where the stairwell is, that's the back of the building. So I'm going to turn it around now, because then it'll be better orientated regarding our site. So we're just going to rotate. Select all the objects, select a base point, and just turn it around 180 degrees. We can save that, and then we'll go back into Civils 3D and import this drawing as a block. Now back in Civils 3D, we're going to insert the drawing. So you go to insert and block, and we need to choose the drawing. There's our preview of the drawing. So it's the floor plan. It's been tidied up. So we'll open that. Here you can see it's been selected. Scale for this drawing should be drawn 1:1, so that should work okay. I want to put it back into here. We'll just set it to the side so that it doesn't interfere with the points. scale factor of 1, and our drawing is inserted. What we'll need to do is to position this drawing onto our site with the points that we have created, our own local grid, isn't purely horizontal. So what we'll need to do is to take our drawing, turn it around slightly so that it's orientated onto our site, and then place it within the green area. To help us place the building onto the green area, for the land points, what I'm going to do is go to properties. I'm actually going to turn off the point descriptor so that you're left with the points. So when I bring the building onto that site, we can actually see where it's being located. To aid the location of the building onto our site, I've drawn a few lines around boundaries. So here I have points labeled path, which are curb lines. I've drawn in some lines for the fence as a boundary as well, and I'm going to place the building itself onto our site. Our site isn't purely horizontal, it's at a slight angle. So what I need to do is to find the angle that I need to turn the building to so that it lines up correctly with our site. To do that, select your reference line, select properties, and at the bottom of the properties window here you can see the angle is 358 degrees 49 minutes and 36 seconds. Now going over to our building, we're going to use the rotate command. Select the objects we want to rotate, specify a base point, and then enter in the same angle, 357, 49, 36, and that will rotate the building at the required angle to the site. To check that, we're going to move the building, select the base point, do that again, select the base point that's out of the way. So you can see when I put it on or overlay it over onto the path line, or what is the curb line, the two lines will be parallel. Now I'm going to position this building within our green area. Generally you'll be given a location halfway between the buildings, a certain offset from the curb line, but I'll just position it there. Some of the control points that are labeled, the text from those are close to or interfering with our building, so just going to turn for those control points. I'm just going to turn the label off so we can see what we're actually dealing with. Next stage will be to choose some points, create points that we're going to use for setting out. Now we need to choose or to make some points that we're going to use for the setting out. And what the point that we're going to choose is actually just going to be the corner of the building. So we're going to choose to set out the corner of the building. So we need to make a point at each of the 4 corners. To do that, we go back to the Points tab, bring up the point creation tools. And previously we used the import points. So now we're going to use the creation tool. So point, so it says here, point or option keyboard required, specify location for new point. So we're just going to choose the corner of the building there. Enter a point description. So this will be the kind of the feature code or the point code. I'll just use STK for stake point. Elevation, we'll keep it at 0. When we stake it out, we're working on a 2-dimensional plan, so we'll just keep the elevation at 0. Point created. Moving then to do the same at the other corners. Repeat the process. And for those point groups, or for those points, we'll do a new point group for Stakeout. We can change the label on them, but we want the raw description to be STK. Points list gives us the coordinates of our 4 points. We'll go and make a new label for our points. And we'll choose a different color. Choose yellow. Okay. Now for these 4 points, what we're going to do is we've made location of them and we have some text beside it. So the normal text is the point number, the elevation and the code. For these points specifically, we're actually going to change the standard text that is written beside each of the points. So I want the point number. So in this case, you can see this one highlighting as 0.5. The height is 0 and the stakeout code is STK, or the point description code is STK. I'm going to change the text that is shown beside each of these points. To do that, I am going to create a new point label style. Take out points. That's the standard point number, elevation, code. Go to layout, and to edit the text that's shown beside it, I'm going to go to point number and go down to the content. Press the 3 little buttons, brings you up another dialog box, and the first item that's displayed is the point number. Clicking after that, make a new line, and I'm going to type in N colon, and I'm going to put beside that the northing of the point. Select it northing and bring that across. Then I'm going to type in E colon, and then the next variable I want to bring across is the easting. Select that, bring that across. Here you can see now the text displayed beside the point is the point number, the northing, the easting, but we also have the height and the code. So for under point elevation, I'm going to edit the information displayed beside it, just basically delete it all. And for the description, again, and contents, I'm just going to go through and delete that. So I'm just left with the 3 bits of information that I want: point number, northing, and easting. Text height, we need to reduce that down. If I select it under point number, 1.25. So I have the new label or new point style, and I've got a new descriptor for the point label style. Apply that, and you can see that the point information displayed beside the stakeout points has changed to give you the point number, the northing and easting of that stakeout point. Having made the 4 points we're going to set out, just going to tidy up this diagram a little bit. So I want to move the text beside each of the staked out points. I'm going to move it by selecting a little square, and see when I move it, the text has automatically got larger. So to correct that, we need to go to the point group, select the stakeout points, go to properties, and we need to look at the point label style, and we want to edit it, and we're looking at the drag state for the text that's shown beside the point. It's drag state component, and wherever we drag the text, you can see the text height automatically defaults to 2.5 mil. So we'll change that back to our default of 1.25 millimeters. Apply that and OK that, apply and OK. So you can see when we drag the text, it's now reduced down to our normal size. 0.3, the text is in a good location. 0.4 is OK, and for 0.5, I'll just move the text for that so it's in a location where we can see it. That's our building located on site. Now to upload it onto the total station, what we'll need to do is to file, save as, and we need to save it. Automatically the default is AutoCAD 2018. To upload it into total station, we want to save it as an AutoCAD 2013 drawing. So drawing 1, and in there I'll just put in 2013, so we know this is the file that we want to take back to the total station to upload. I'll upload the points, upload the building, the drawing lines and the new points, and then we can put the total station into stakeout mode and then locate the position of these 4 points on our site.